Welcome to Keto Snippets, where I take something that I've made in the full meal prep video and make it just about the recipe and make it a lot shorter. So this week in my meal prep, I made a shrimp ramen with cabbage instead of noodles, and I also made a chicken Alfredo with Kohlrabi noodles instead of fettuccine. So in this video, I'm going to show you how I made the chicken Alfredo. I like to start off every meal prep with the vegetables. So for this one, all I need is some mushrooms, which I roughly chopped, and some garlic that I crushed. Now, don't mind all the other vegetables. That is for the shrimp ramen. Next up, we're gonna start with our chicken. Now, I personally cut these in half just so that they're a little bit easier to cook when they're thinner, and it's easier when it's even. As far as seasoning, all this one has is salt, pepper, garlic powder, and onion powder. Now for the sauce, just a heads up, everything I do is inspired by, so this is not a by the book Alfredo recipe, but this is how I interpret it, especially for a low carb lifestyle. To get started, I put in about a tablespoon of butter into a saucepan, and then after that melted a little bit, added about 3/4 of a cup of heavy cream. Now I have been told I do not put enough sauce when I make marsalas and Alfredos and other types of cream-based sauces, so probably go up to a cup and a half, 2 cups if you are going to make it yourself. But for now, I'm just going to say that I do less sauce for health reasons and not just because I'm not great with measurements. Anyway, to move on, then you're going to season with some salt, pepper, onion powder, and the garlic from before. And once that starts to simmer and reduce, it is time for the cheese. So what I did was grated up about half a cup of Parmesan cheese and a half a cup of Gruyere. And once it is ready, I added it in slowly to the sauce while mixing it in, just so that it doesn't turn grainy. Over medium heat, this sauce does take a little bit of time to simmer and reduce. So while that goes, I'm going to start up with the chicken, which, since this is thin, I'm just going to heat up some butter onto this pan and cook until I get a nice color on each side. A rule that I use is that once you see the chicken turn white about 2/3 of the way up, it is time to flip. So that is what I'm doing, and I can see that it is the color that I want on this side. And after my second batch, this is when I placed in some of the onions in that same butter and chicken sauce juice, I guess. And now it is time for the Kohlrabi noodles. Now this is the first time I am using this, and to me these came out more like onions than it did noodles, but it still came out fine, and I'll probably use it again. But for this, I just use that same pan, put some extra butter into it, and pretty much saute these up. If I was going to do it again, I would probably steam it a little bit or not use this method, just so that they don't crisp up as much, so that they can actually feel a little bit more like noodles. It might be the vegetable itself, but these are lower carb for anyone who's interested. And this one is about done. So I would usually toss the noodles in the sauce in the same pan that I cooked it in. I did not do that this time because I don't know, but because this is meal prep, I'm usually a little less strict or follow less directions. This is just more about getting through the week, and this is done and ready for the week. So if you want to check out the full meal prep for this week, that will be linked down below, as well as the snippet for the shrimp ramen. Now I do want to thank you for watching, and if you like this video over the full form version, let me know by liking this video. So I will see you in the next one.